I'm going to be talking to you today about the exchange, but I thought what we would do first is I saw these offers pop up in the shop, in the store. And in my last video, which was a beginner guide, which I'll card to up there if you want to go check that out, I talked about doing gem summons and how, it's not a really great investment and it's kind of a big roll of the dice, because what this is that 3,600 gem chest. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna buy both of these and we're gonna pop them, and you can at least get a glimpse of how it goes. Now, this may end up being a situation where I do pull something great and it makes it look like I'm full of crap in the last video, but I'm okay with buying these and popping them and seeing what we get and just letting you guys see. So maybe it'll kind of scratch your itch and maybe you won't feel as tempted to blow your gems early. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna talk about the exchange. So let's buy these and cut to that. All right, we've made our purchase. So we've got our two 10x ultimate chest here. So let's see how it goes. Yes, do it. Yes, I want you to do it. I really do want you to do it. I don't like to skip all. I like to see what we get. So we got a full row of 8s. So nothing great in the first 5, but let's see what we get in the last. I mean, I got the right ones though. I did unlock a couple characters, so that's nice. There's our gold one. Let's see what that gold one's gonna end up being. I think you get a guaranteed gold one every time, but whether or not it's a good character is. Olaf. That's actually really good for me. I've been trying to get Olaf's rank up, so that was a decent chest for me. That was not a bad one. Nothing mind-blowing. I think that's it could have been better, but I definitely am not gonna complain about that. I'm happy with the Olaf pull for sure. So Olaf is nice. Got a few rank ups there, and then yeah, I can't be mad at that. All right, let's do the other one real quick, and then we'll get on over to the exchange and talk about that. We got our gold one in the first pull, so another rank up. A lot of the same stuff though, but still, I guess you can't be too mad at it. That's cool that we got her. I don't know much. I think she's from Tron. So I don't know much about her character yet, but okay, getting him, he's part of the current event. So it wasn't a bad summon session, but as you can see, it was nothing mind-blowing, right? I'm pretty sure 50 is like the minimum. I don't know that for sure. Maybe it's not, but you see it. Now you can decide if you want to do it or not. I don't think $20 is a bad deal, because you do also get these chests, which I guess we can open up real quick. We will just skip these. So I got Buzz, which get converted because I have Buzz maxed. That was not bad at all, man. That was really good, actually. We're having really good luck summoning, which I feel like is going to mislead some people. That's more like what it usually looks like. Not bad that we got him, though. I'm real close to unlocking him. I think next conquest that we win, I think I should unlock him, which I'm pretty excited about, because I've been investing in old Johnny Depp pretty heavily too. And I guess we'll knock these out just because we're here. So all right, not bad. Okay, so yeah, not a bad summon session all around. I really can't be mad at that. All right, let's go ahead. No, I don't have time for this. All right, exchange. Let's talk about what to buy from the exchange, what you should be focusing on in the exchange as a newer player. Now, this tab, you can see there's all these different tabs, right? And I think some of them you won't have unlocked. I think you unlock a few as you progress, but if you're new. This tab, stay out of unless you spend money, 100%. Stay out of this tab unless you're spending money. I will tell you that I spend a decent amount of money in all these games that I play. I play too many games to be a full-on whale in any of them, but I definitely have whale tendencies in all of them. So I spend a decent amount of money in these games. I don't come in here, again, unless it's a last ditch, I need a couple of shards to finish an event. Unless it's a bigger investment than just the shards for the character. Stay out of this tab. This one as well, again, stay out of it. Gold is way too hard to hang on to. Some of these smaller ones, if you need them earlier on, sure, go for it. I may come in here occasionally and start buying up some of these, but gold is a scarce resource in this game. I tend to stay out of here personally. But again, you do your thing. This is the first tab that you're going to be spending some time in actively. Once you get into a club and you start doing your club dungeon and your club conquest and all these different things, you'll be accumulating this currency. Now, as far as shards on who you can be working on from here, it's not a bad idea to get some Sully shards kind of early on. Again, he will fall off eventually, but he's a decent tank until you get a better tank, right? And that may be a while depending on how you're playing. Mickey also is a fantastic option. This Jack Sparrow, like I said, I've been putting a lot of work into him. I'm actually going to go ahead and scoop his up. We're trying to get his star rating up. They just put the Frozen squad in the gang. I do think the Frozen team is solid. Elsa kind of does bring it all together, and you can get her from the event. I'm sure they'll bring it back around soon. So to start investing in him wouldn't be a terrible idea. And then as far as earlier game stuff, though, I would say you want to focus Sully. In order, let's say Mickey is probably the most valuable of these characters to invest in early. Sully is not a bad option either. And then Syndrome is really not bad either. He's going to be good for when you start wanting to build a villains team, which will be as you progress a little bit. You'll push into the main campaign, you'll push into the heroes campaign a little bit, and then eventually you're going to start needing a villains team to start pushing through that villains campaign as well. Syndrome is actually a fantastic villain. Gaston is a nice early game tank, and he's decent enough. There are better options, but I would say for your villains, Syndrome and Gaston, and for your heroes, Mickey and Sully. Those should be where you're focusing earlier game, right? And then of course if there's any gear that you're looking for, but I would kind of buy gear specifically earlier on. What I kind of do now is if I have less than 10 of anything, I buy it. If I have less than 20 of anything, I buy it, and I slowly try to get all of my numbers up kind of collectively. But that's, again, I'm accumulating a lot now because I can get all the way through Club Dungeon, and you know, all the club contribution that I do brings me a lot of this currency. You won't be making quite as much early on, so I would say focus your heroes first, which would be Mickey, Sully, and then when you're starting to focus villains a little bit, I'd say Syndrome and Gaston will be good options. So that's the club tab. This you will get from doing PvP, the tournament exchange, which is this right here, okay? This is Arena. If you're coming from any other game, generally this is called Arena. Here they call it Sorcerer's Tournament, but that's where you're going to get that currency, okay? And for this tab, Shan Yu, I don't know how to say it, is a killer villain. He's a really good character, and one of the things that makes him really great is the speed lead right here. If you've played these games before, you know that speed generally kills. And in this game in particular, because it's you don't ruin your characters like some other games that you may have played, so you can't really specifically focus stats in the same way that you can in other games. So him giving this speed boost to your team is actually huge, whereas in something like Raid or Summoner's War, it's not as big of a deal. Here it's a much bigger deal. So basically your team will go first if he's on it and he's the lead. So that's worth noting. So he's an excellent villain to focus. Hades is also a killer character in this game. He's one of the best characters in the game. So I would start focusing him as well. Now that Anna's in here, she's not a bad one to focus, and Ariel is not a bad one to focus. And that is who I would recommend if we're gonna go like top 5 characters to focus from this tab. I would say Shan Yu, Hades, Anna, Big Bad Wolf, and Ariel. Big Bad Wolf is another example of a fantastic villain. Fantastic character all around, but also he's going to be crucial for your villains team when you start to build your villains team out. So it's not a bad idea to start investing in him. And you can kind of pick. Like I said, as your earlier game, this currency is going to come a little slower. But as you start to push up in Arena, you'll kind of sit in your spot and the currency will just come. You see, I have quite a bit of it now. So very early on, go ahead and get you some Ariel tokens, start getting her built. And then when it's time to shift focus to villains, Shan Yu, Big Bad Wolf, and Hades are killer options from here, okay? Now these other tabs, you've got your premium tab, or your VIP exchange tab, which they have kind of like a monthly battle pass. You know, if you're familiar with that concept from Call of Duty and Fortnite, and you know, Raid has a battle pass now. Well, they don't technically have one right now, but again, this is one that you're really only going to want to come in if you're spending money on top of that. Being the VIP unlocks this, but it's still costly to come in here and do anything. So I would recommend that you stay out of here, honestly. The token exchange you won't have for a while. I believe this is the one that you get when you have a maxed character. Like you saw, I got buzz shards. They converted to this currency, okay? I don't get a lot of this currency. This is the first time that I've had enough to buy something in here, and I think I got them from that last buzz shard pull. So, again, this will be something that you worry about later. This one, I don't even... Oh, this currency is in the game now. How about that? I think this just recently happened then, because for a long time I wasn't even accumulating this currency. So this is new. We might have to learn about this a little bit and dig in to this in another video. And then this is your tower exchange. Now the tower is another little bit of content right here, and this is a pretty fun type of content for me. I do enjoy this. If you played Summoner's War, it's the Trial of Ascension, where basically you're going up levels and it gets harder and harder as you go. In this game, it's a little different. You've got different towers, and the third one is one that I've been sitting in for a while. So you can see it's got 10 stages, and I've cleared these. Now, when you're a VIP, you can auto-complete the tower up to where you've manually completed, right? So like I've kind of hard stopped at 5 because I haven't really been building the specific characters that I need for it. We'll talk about this content in depth again in another video, but this is where you get the currency for this tab in the exchange, and this is where you can buy spells. So I believe you start off with Duke, Kaboom, and Trigger's Tower. I think these are the early game spells. I would start looking for Dumbo. Dumbo is actually a really good spell. I would start looking to invest in Dumbo. And I actually kind of liked Magical Meteor. This is kind of preference. This is one where some spells are definitely better than others, but it's kind of depend on your team. I would say early on, I would start looking for Dumbo because he's really nice. He's a really nice spell to have. Dumbo and Magical Meteor would be my recommendations, but there are certainly better options. There's a lot of videos to make in this game, apparently. I didn't realize that everything that I kind of touch on here was going to segue to another video. So we have a lot of videos to make, which is nice. But I would recommend bringing your early currency in here for Dumbo and Magical Meteor. These two, I don't know that I would say they're worth investing in and leveling up, and since it's the same currency to just work on getting these, I would say these are going to serve you better. Headless Horseman is also a really nice spell to have, so take your pick. I mean, look around, see what you like, if any of them look interesting. They're all effective in their own way. There's very few spells that I think are just straight up bad. Duke Kaboom is not a great one, but that's the one they start off with. So that's just a quick look at the exchange and kind of my recommendations on what to focus on early. Again, the more you play, you're going to get more familiar with it, and things are going to start to make a little more sense. And I'm going to be getting out videos pretty regularly for this to kind of help this stuff make sense for you. So hopefully this helped. As always, if you are a player of this game and there's something that I didn't mention about the exchange that you think is worth mentioning, drop it below. More information is always better. And I definitely appreciate the contribution because sometimes I don't cover everything. I can't cover everything. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully it helped. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer. If you need a little advice about something, if you're thinking about buying a spell and you want some input, I'm happy to do all that. So yeah, like the video, all that fun stuff that YouTubers need to be successful would help me out greatly if you wanted to do it. Other than that, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys later.